Hey everyone, welcome to your virtual whiteboard bootcamp explainer. We are going to cut right through the noise today and get you absolutely prepared for your Term 3 Advanced Science exam. Think of me as your personal, highly caffeinated study buddy. We're focusing on mastering some absolutely key grade 7 learning outcomes, and we're going to do it fast.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. Population and carrying capacity, the ecological footprint, Earth's motion and seasons, lunar phases, and finally, eclipses. We'll be moving through a rapid-fire sequence of core concepts and then hitting actual practice questions to really lock that knowledge in. Okay, Section 1, Population and Carrying Capacity. We're starting right in our own backyard with ecology, specifically looking at how environments draw hard lines on population growth. So every ecosystem out there has limits, right? Imagine a forest that literally only has enough water and space for exactly 50 deer to live safely. That absolute upper limit, based on the available food, water, and habitat, is what we call the ecosystem's carrying capacity. If the population goes over 50, well, there just won't be enough resources to go around. Okay, pop quiz time. Let's test you right away with a direct question you might actually see on your exam. What exactly is carrying capacity? Think back to our forest with the 50 deer. Did you guess B, the largest number of individuals of a species that Earth's resources can support long term? If so, you totally nailed it. It is all about that maximum sustainable number. Moving right along to Section 2, the ecological footprint. We just looked at how environments limit populations, so now let's flip it and look at how human populations impact the environment. Here's the crucial thing. Your ecological footprint has literally nothing to do with your actual physical shoe size. It's a mathematical calculation of how much of the Earth's biologically productive land and water is needed to sustain your specific lifestyle. It measures the whole shebang, from the food you eat to the land required to absorb all the waste you generate. All right, here is your next whiteboard challenge. Based on that definition we just went over, think carefully. What does an ecological footprint actually measure? The correct answer is C, the amount of biologically productive land and water needed to support an individual's lifestyle. Spot on if you remembered that. It's basically a way to quantify our direct demand on nature. Section 3, Earth's motion and seasons. Okay, we are blasting off the surface now and looking at our entire planet's movement in space. Get ready to shift your perspective. Now, this illustrates a really massive misconception. A lot of people think summer happens when Earth is closest to the sun, but actually, scratch that. Earth is closest to the sun in January. Our seasons change because Earth's rotation axis is tilted. That tilt means different hemispheres get varying amounts of direct solar energy as we travel around the sun. Summer happens when your hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, not when the planet as a whole is physically closer to it. Game changer, right? Let's test your spatial reasoning. Have you ever wondered why the stars and the moon seem to travel across our sky from east to west every single night? To answer this one, we've got to contrast two major ideas. Revolution, which is Earth orbiting the sun over a whole year like a runner on a track, versus rotation, which is Earth spinning west to east on its axis, causing day and night. And the answer is A, due to Earth's west to east rotation. Because we are physically spinning from west to east, it creates this crazy optical illusion from our viewpoint on the ground that everything in the sky above us is sweeping backward, from east to west. Next up, Section 4, Lunar Phases and Movement. Let's shift our focus entirely to our closest cosmic neighbor, the Moon. This is a fantastic trick to remember for your exam. The Moon rotates on its axis, and it revolves around Earth. But here's the crazy part. Both of those movements take exactly 27.3 days. Because it spins at the exact same rate it orbits us, we always see the exact same side of the Moon. This perfectly timed phenomenon is called tidal locking. Okay, read this true or false practice question very, very carefully before deciding on your answer. Examiners absolutely love to test if you're paying close attention. It is false. See how they tried to trick you? They're comparing the Moon's 27-day revolution around the Earth to the Earth's one-day rotation on its axis. Remember, the Moon's revolution matches the Moon's rotation, definitely not Earth's. And finally, Section 5, Solar and Lunar Eclipses. For our last whiteboard topic, we're putting the Sun, Earth, and Moon together to look at some epic celestial shadows. Check out how two totally distinct types of shadows are created during an eclipse. You've got that really dark, sharp cone right in the middle, and then the lighter, wider shadow spreading out around it.
You definitely want to remember this comparison for the test. The umbra is the central, darker part where light is totally blocked. The penumbra, that's the lighter part on the outside where light is only partially blocked.
All right, let's apply that directly to an exam question. Where do you have to be located to be able to see a total eclipse?
The answer is D, within the umbra. You literally have to be standing in the absolute darkest part of that shadow to witness a total eclipse. If you're standing in the penumbra, you're only going to get a partial eclipse.
Okay, you are totally prepared for these sections of your exam. You've got the definitions down, you know the mechanics. But before we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. If the moon orbits Earth every single month and the umbra blocks the light, why don't we have a breathtaking solar eclipse every single new moon? Well, the answer is that the moon doesn't travel in a perfectly flat path. Its orbit is kind of tilted, so most months that shadow completely misses us. Keep that three-dimensional perspective in mind, and you are going to ace this final. Good luck!